Okay, let's get started, and thank you all very much for joining us. Today we're just going to give you a little bit of insight into the CX Academy and an overview of the two courses in case you're having problems deciding which course to choose, whether it's the professional certificate course, which is our foundation course, or our diploma course, which is our more advanced course. Delighted to be joined today by Anna Silva, my colleague from the CX Academy. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Julian. Thank you so much.
So look, so let's get right into it. It's going to be about half an hour. We won't keep you too long. So delighted to get right into it and get started. So I think, Anna, you're going to take us on a couple of slides. I'll do a few slides and we'll see how we go.
Exactly. And feel free to ask any questions at the end that you might have. We are happy to clarify your questions.
Or ask the questions at any time, no problem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we will start asking everybody if we really understand what is customer experience, because sometimes people get a bit confused. So customer experience is all about how customers feel about the interactions they have with your organization. So this is something that first we need to understand. What is CX? What is customer experience? So it's all about the emotional side. Then we hear sometimes people say, oh, customer experience is the same as customer service. No, it's not the same. So there are two completely different things. Let's say that you have a coin and you have the two sides of the coin. So one will be customer service, which is the functional side. So this is all everything that you do for your customers. It can be sending an email, picking up a phone call, opening the course dashboard. So this is the functional side, which is called customer experience. And then you have the customer service. And then you have the customer experience, which is the emotional side. So it's how your customer feels about the interaction he has with you or within your organization. So think about one coin, two sides. One is customer service, the other one is customer experience, and they complement. Now, why the CX Academy and why our CX framework is so important? If you do one of our courses, you will have always the CX framework, because this is the basic thing for everything that we do. You can even print these and put in your wall or in your desk if you wish, and follow these in all the journey with your customers, with your colleagues. This works for everything. So the CX Academy framework is made up of 6 emotional drivers. And if you do them really well, you will build a very good emotional bond with your customers. So these different emotional drivers, as you can see in there, I'm going to talk a bit about each one. And then you will have further detail if you join one of our CX courses. But the fundamental emotional driver, which is key, is the I trust you. The I trust you is you need to build trust with everything you do with your customer. That's the base for everything. Then the you know me is you really need to understand the individual needs of your customer and to get to know your customer really well so you can personalize and give the best experience possible. That you make it easy, it's very, very important, because we really need to understand what is important to the customer and to make it very easy for the customer. We cannot complicate things. This example that I always give is that sometimes technology is amazing because it can really help to make it easy things for the customer. So we really need to balance technology with the human touch and make sure that we are simplifying the process as much as possible. Then you get me. The you get me is really to understand what I need and to try to offer me the best solution for my needs. So it's really understanding where I'm coming from, what exactly I am expecting from you, and give me that into return. The you deliver on your promise is the message that any company is the mission of the company, and you really need to deliver on what you are promising to your customers. You have to set clear expectations and you have to meet those expectations, because clients are demanding. So if you fail that promise, then something goes wrong, and that's where sometimes we have the complaints, which they happen. And this brings us to the next emotional driver, which is you fix things. Obviously, things will sometimes go wrong because we are human beings and that can happen. but then you have a huge opportunity to turn those bad things into good things and to fix them in a quick and efficient way to make sure that you provide a good experience to your customer. So don't worry about complaints. They are actually an amazing opportunity for you to show the customer that you are there for the customer, you can empathize with the customer, and you can turn around something that was not as good into something that is really positive. And sometimes those clients that are upset with something, but they feel that we are on this side to help them as much as possible, are those clients that become huge advocates of our company. So if you do all these 6 things in your daily job, you can create a very good bond with your customers and you have your retention at the highest level possible.
Brilliant. Thanks, Anna. That's really clear. The power and the benefits of customer experience. So just to go back a little bit, one of the key things, and what Anna was talking about there, is with the emotional understanding of your customers, it differentiates you from your competitors. We talk a lot on the courses about sameness, about the concept of sameness, and about if you go into your bank or your insurance broker, you're going to get the same kind of proposal across maybe 5 or 6 banks. Everything will be very, very similar, but customer experience allows you to differentiate. If you succeed in creating these bonds with your customers, customers will stay longer, so you get increased retention. Customers will buy more from you. They're going to increase and they're going to have more repeat sales. And the fundamental thing about CX is advocacy. And creating that emotional bond with a customer allows them to speak about you in a really, really positive way. It's far better way of acquiring customers than through marketing, and far deeper and far more effective. Also, customer experience allows you to reduce your cost to serve customers, because there's not as many complaints coming in, there's not as many inquiries coming in about basic things. So it's reduce your costs to serve your customers, and you can move staff into far more human orientated activities than they're being done at the moment. So it's a very, very interesting way to save money. You have improved staff motivation and retention. And you also, and the bottom line to this is, CX is a hard discipline. There's nothing fluffy about CX or soft about it. It increases profitability and shareholder value when done properly. So we set up the CX Academy to really be the global standard. We're in over 40 countries worldwide now, and hugely good feedback from all of our graduates. We feel some fundamentals. CX is an essential skill. As I was saying earlier, there's nothing fluffy about it or anything like that. It's very, very vital now for every company to understand it. It delivers real increased shareholder value, return on investment. Everyone in the organization has a role to play, right from the managing director right down to the newest employee. Right now, it's a game changer. If you do CX really well, and if you can engender CX excellence within your company, it will pay back in huge dividends because of what we're going through with this pandemic. And in the future, if you can have trust between you and your customers, that will last now forever. It's simple to understand CX, but it's very difficult to deliver. So you need to really understand how to break down silos within companies, how to communicate a CX success. It's not an easy thing to deliver within a company, but it's very straightforward to understand it. Technology is wonderful, and that's one of the basics we talk about here in the CX Academy, but the human touch is always greater, and you need to keep the human touch, and you need to keep that perspective. And these courses are globally recognized qualifications, so they're a significant asset to your career and the companies that you work for. Just to tell you about the knowledge base, Michael Killeen has worked in CX in the United States for many years, for many companies like General Electric. Kathy Summers has worked in the insurance industry for many years. Siobhan Mallon in the banking industry for many years in CX roles. And I've come from a technology background myself. In the Academy, we have an advisory council, and these are crucial people from these companies that sit on our advisory council and advise us and validate our courses. So all of the course materials that you will go through will have been vetted and will have been validated by representatives from these companies. And we've chosen these companies because we believe some of them are leaders in delivering CX excellence. So the Advisory Council is absolutely crucial to both courses. The Diploma is a more advanced course and is credit rated by Glasgow Caledonian University in Scotland. They're a really, really well-recognized university. They have over 20,000 students and they have 2,000 teachers and lecturers. It's mapped, as all these things are, onto the European qualification framework and onto every qualification framework in every country in the world. So no matter where you're logging in from or where we're talking to you, whatever country you're from, there will be an equivalent level and an equivalent qualification in your own country. So that's the reason why we do that for the diploma.
And now we are going to walk you through the main differences about both courses, because this is fundamental. And we feel that sometimes people are a bit lost and they see both courses on the website, the certificate and the diploma, and they are not really sure which one to take. So I'm going to explain you the differences between the two of them, and then I'm going to walk you through a bit of background of which one would be more suitable to each individual. So the professional certificate is the foundation level in CX. It's an online self-paced course. It's, as Julian mentioned, it is certified by our Industry Advisory Council. We will give you 6 modules, and we have the course open for you during 3 months. From our experience, people go as fast as they want, and people finish this course in way less time than 3 months. You can even finish the course if you want in a few weeks or 1 month, because it's only about 15 hours of online direct learning. You will have some assignments to complete. They are very practical and they are very good for you to apply your learnings. You can even do those assignments with some of your colleagues if you wish, but they are not mandatory to be submitted back to us. The only thing that will be mandatory would be 2 multiple choice assessments. So you will have 1 assessment after module 3 and 1 assessment after module 6. This is really fun to do because it's multiple choice questions. So you don't have to write down anything and it's just drag and drop. So it's fun to do. It's practical. And if, of course, if you pass your assessments with a minimum average of 60% on each, you will get your formal qualification in CX and you will have your professional certificate completed. Then if you feel that you already have some good knowledge about CX, your background have been CX for many years, then you can jump straight into the diploma course. You don't have to do the professional certificate. You might feel that might be a bit too basic for you, depending on your background and your experience. So there is no obligation of starting with one and then moving into the other one. You can jump straight to the next one. So the professional diploma, we call it a different beast because it's really a very deep dive in CX. It's an advanced program in CX. It's the same type, so it's online and self-paced. You can go as fast as you want. The biggest difference between one and the other is that this one is university credit rated, as Julian mentioned, by Glasgow Caledonian University, a very famous and well-known university in the UK. You will have 10 modules to complete, and we will have the course open for you during 6 months. From our experience, depending how busy you are, you might be a very busy professional with less time in your hands. You might think, oh my God, maybe 6 months is not enough for me. No problem. We will always be happy to offer you an extension if you need. So you can complete your course in 8 months, 9 months, whatever it suits you. We are here to help you. So don't feel stuck with that. And then you will have mandatory assignments to complete and to submit back to us. They will be graded by our course directors. We'll always provide you feedback. So you will always know where you are, how you are doing, what needs to be improved, or if something is going extremely well and you might be a pro and everything might be really good. Then you will also have the 2 multiple choice assessments. So again, one at the middle of the course and one at the end, one after module 5 and one after module 10, is the same format. So multiple choice questions. So again, fun. If you have been through all the modules, no problem about that. You won't have any troubles with the assessments. And then we estimate that it will take you about 60 hours of online direct contact to go through this program. The programs, both of them are delivered with video lectures, case studies, articles. We will also give you some blogs as well. There is further reading. But the video lectures are really, really well delivered by our course directors. And we will give you at the end of each module PDF documents that you can download or you can print. They are called summary and key takeaways. So this is brilliant because if you don't want to take any notes during your studies, you have everything in there ready for you with the full summary of the video lectures. So it's a very, very good program that offers you a formal qualification in CX. Both of them offer you that. It's just a matter of choosing, the one that is suitable for you depending on your background and your experience in CX. If you feel like, oh, maybe I don't really know what is CX and I really need to understand first what is CX and how can I do customer journey mapping, for example, then you can start with the foundation level, the certificate. You really understand all the concepts and we give you all the tools and material to start your training in terms of customer journey mapping and how to understand what CX is and what you can do with CX in your organization. And then at a later stage, you can move on to the diploma and continue your career, your CX journey with us. But it's just a matter of understanding what is the right course for you based on these differences that you can see here on the screen.
Brilliant. So as Anna was saying, the course is split up into lectures, presentations, lots of downloadable documents, toolkits, and assignments, which are great to do with your colleagues. And there are 6 little short revision assessments, which aren't graded at the end of each module, and then 2 assessments, which are graded. So we also have regular optional webinars that you can attend, which are live webinars, which just maybe a CX practitioner or is just to help you and to allow you as well to ask us questions. You can also ask us questions at any stage just by getting in touch or emailing us, but it gives you a little sort of better opportunity to ask questions if it's during a masterclass or a webinar. But we're really here to help you in your career. We're here to grow your career, and we're here to let you really move up the ladder and provide you with a new opportunity in order to make your career a real success. So just to very quickly give you an idea, although Anna's taken you through the overview of the 2 courses, just a very quick little slightly deeper dive into what each one is. So the first one is a module of the certificate course is all about introducing you to the foundations, all about the definitions of CX and getting everything right, all of the foundations right to start with, what CX is or what it isn't, and very clearly laying all that out. The second one is understanding the impact. So understanding the impact that it has and letting you, more importantly, tell your colleagues and your leadership what the impact is and how it can change things if it's done properly. Also the CX framework, which is what we've done already. There's a whole module really devoted to what the CX framework does, the power of the framework and how you can use it in your own company or organization. Customer journey mapping in module 4 is really powerful. If you have ever had people from the outside come in and do customer journey workshops with you, you will now be able to do that internally. So you're going to save your organization money by doing that. And we provide you with all of the templates in order to allow you to do that and with the knowledge. CX in action is all to do with communications and metrics and how you communicate success in CX and how you measure success in CX. And then the 4 stages to CX excellence is really pulling everything together and giving you a really good strategy document on how to take things forward from here. Then in the diploma, which is as Anna was saying, a deeper dive. These are really this course is really for customer Customer executives, customer growth, customer success, customer experience, customer service, all of these types of roles, we have people doing diplomas. So the diploma really, again, foundations in module 1, the framework in module 2. Champions of the Cause is a brilliant module which allows you to demonstrate return on investment and profitability caused by embedding CX. So it's a real leadership buy-in type module. Culture and staff empowerment, really important. Vision, values, all those good things. Measurement and benchmarking. If it's not measured, it's not important, is really what people say. So you really need to measure things. You really need to benchmark yourselves against other companies. And you need to communicate how you're getting on in CX, or else the CX programs won't work. Developing a customer promise in module 6. Then in module 7, channel harmony, balancing all of your channels. And now with online being so important, it's really, really interesting and really, really difficult sometimes to get that balance right, but we show you how. Customer journey, again, in module 8, a deeper dive into the customer journey with deeper insights. And then module 9 is all about technology and innovation and balancing that with the human touch, and what kind of dashboards are out there at the moment for CX, and what kind of technology chatbots are. And it gives you a really good understanding at a top level of the language you need to understand, how to speak the language of technology to people who are involved with data, and people who are involved in UX, and people who are involved in web development. A passion for customers is the last one, which is all really about pulling everything together again and giving you, again, a really, really good CX strategy in order to embed CX in your organization and deliver it. And just to let you know, we have some special offers right now, which are early birds. So until the end of the week, we have a special offer on the professional certificate of 420 euros, and a special offer on the professional diploma of 2,395 euros. There's payment plans available actually for the diploma and for the certificate if you want to split the certificate into 2 payments. But we can also split up the diploma into several payments just to make it as easy as possible for you and as affordable for you. But both courses are really, really good value, and we hope they'll really help you really in your own career, firstly and foremostly, but also in your career with your organization and with the company you're with.
Absolutely. And this is something that people ask us about sometimes, which is, can I get some funding from my company to join the diploma? Absolutely. You can just bring to the table the information from the brochure, the full syllabus of the diploma, and discuss with your manager, with your director, and ask them if they can support you to join the course. And of course, we can make it as easier as possible for you in terms of a payment plan, and then that qualification will help your career and your organization to move forward, because you will embed an efficient CX strategy within your company, which will let, of course, your manager, your director very proud, and that will pay for the course itself.
And pay dividends. Brilliant. So look, we have one question in here from John regarding the length of the course and regarding how long does it normally take somebody to finish it. That's a really difficult question, John, because some people work fast, some people work slow. But just to give you an idea, if you want to go through the course at a fast pace, you can do it within a month. And if you want to take your time on the certificate course, it can take 3 months. But the main thing is with both of these courses is we advise to study and set aside a specific amount of hours a week, 2 or 3 hours a week, and that way you'll get through the course steadily and really efficiently and in the normal amount of time, which is probably the best way to do it. But it's up to you, and we have many, many different learners who go at different paces. And get to the end, no problem, both ways. So we're here to help. If you have any further questions about anything to do with CX or about either of the courses, please just drop Anna a note or myself a note and ask us, and we're really happy to help out. So we're here for you. Let us know what we can do to help you further. Let us know really anything that we can do, and we'll get back to you immediately, and we'll discuss things immediately with you.
Oh, and by the way, we have here another question from Orla. She is asking, when is the next course starting? So we have 2 courses starting next week. So we have the professional certificate on the 28th and the professional diploma on the 27th of January. So you can join these next groups starting next week. But you might be asking, oh, it's online self-paced. Can I start immediately if I want? Yes, no problem. So if you want to start straight away, drop us an email or give us a phone call and we can enroll you straight away. No need to wait for the course starting dates. We are as flexible as possible now. We know with this whole pandemic situation, people, some of them even like they have more time in their hands because they might have less work. So we are allowing people to to join at any stage, no need to wait. So that's important to be clarified. And thank you so much for that question, actually.
Brilliant. Anna, thanks a million for helping out. And thank you for all of you who have logged on today. We'll be in touch with you. Get in touch with us.